Good morning, race fans. It is 6:10 Saturday morning, and today we're going to be doing something slightly different. A bit of a surprise to myself. I wasn't expecting to be doing this race. However, 2 days ago we got a call off Sam. Do you fancy racing on Saturday? I was like, yeah, let's do it. That's me, all ready to go. There was a prize giving ceremony yesterday, as you saw in the video that I just put up there earlier, and I got a trophy for the sprint race. Today is a 5-hour race at Darley Moor. Yeah, it's Darley Moor, as some of you guys may or may not know. Last time I went there was the first time that I went there and won both the sprint races back to back. So, endurance race, I've got a bit of track knowledge where this is the first time Freetech have run at Darley Moor, so some of them might be on the back foot. In the prize giving, normally how Freetech runs is they run the qualifying session today for about 15-20 minutes, and then wherever you qualify is where they put you on the grid. However, this year, at the prize giving, they basically put all the teams in a helmet, a name out for the team, and then they pull out a number out the hat. Our name got pulled out and we're 9th on the grid. But yeah, so just a bit of backstory as well. In 2023, I came to Money Motorsport, got invited to race for them, won the championship in 2023. Last year we did the same again, won in 2024. So this year we weren't planning on racing. However, Daryl's put a last minute entry in. So yeah, here we are, Darley Moor, 2025. Round 1 of the season, so hopefully we have a bit of luck, because if some of you have seen how the 600 racing is going, it's not going too well. So yeah, fingers crossed this weekend goes amazing, and I shall see you when we're out on track. Done all the briefing, bikes all scrutineered, the weather's turned out quite nice. It is meant to get a bit windy later on, but at the moment it's beautiful sunshine. Beautiful, lovely day, look at that. Sunshine. Everything's out and about. Went out for the practice sessions, everyone's happy, James is happy, Daryl's happy, I'm happy. Just waiting for the juniors to have their presentation, and then we should be ready to get lined up on the grid right in probably about 20 minutes. I'm slightly nervous now because this is the first endurance race that I've done since Spain, which was November last year. So yeah, super excited, fingers crossed. Starting 9th on the grid, so yeah, looking forward to it, and I shall see you guys on the bike. Overtaking a lot of people into the first corner here, a few bad starts, especially from Daisy Racing there around the outside. Going into the first turn, as you can see, we've got a bike up in front of us. This is now for the overall lead. Getting right on his tail, going to try and line a pass up into the next corner here. Now, I was expecting Daisy Racing to come up the inside of me here, but unfortunately they must have been held up, bad start or something, so now we're leading the overall race. So we're now coming down the straight. An extremely long straight for the 125s here, through the S's. Nicely done. And then this overall lead was short-lived as Daisy Racing then decided to put a pass on us up the inside there into the hairpin. Tried to get onto the back of him just so we could get a bit of a tow down the straight, just in case those other Moto4 bikes decided to come past us as well. But just look at the speed there. That Daisy Racing bike is ridiculously quick in a straight line. I don't know what they've done to that bike, but look at it, it's just going and gone. Now, with the names being drawn out of a hat, it meant that there was a few Moto4 bikes down in the pack, so I was definitely expecting a few more of them to pass me down the straight here. Coming into the next
6 laps, a faller there, unfortunately, quite early on. Then we caught up with some back markers about 2-3 laps into the race, which was quite a surprise. Then coming into the hairpin here, messed it up massively here. I think I went into first gear by accident, and then had to shift into second, lost a lot of drive there, and then one of the Moto4 bikes soon capitalised on that. Down we go into third overall. We're now going into the hairpin. A lap later, some more back markers get held up here. Unfortunately, nearly on the grass there, but we stayed upright. And then this character, John from Bermuda, absolute legend. I think what he was trying to signal there was, don't overtake me, I'm trying to keep up with AD Motors, because John is on a Moto4 bike. Kept in the slipstream, but like I said, what a character John is. Lovely bloke. Now, following on from what I said about John being a character, if you look here, he is trying to pass someone on the grass, round the outside, through the ditch, and then does make the move. Coming into some more back markers here, again struggling to get round them. This hairpin is sort of a one-line thing, you can't really get much drive if you go wide, but we do sort of use the back markers here as sort of a slipstream marker, so we just kind of sit behind them, get as much drag as much of a pull down the straight as possible. Coming into the next corner now, a very, very fast Mason here on a production, and I say production in quotation marks because that is an extremely fast production bike. Look at it leaving me down the straight there. Absolutely disappointing there. I think we're now down into 4th or 5th overall. I think, 5th overall. We're now behind a bit more traffic. So this first stint was very eventful because look at this, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bikes up ahead, and we managed to do 3 of them there in one corner, and then I think we try and get them out on the exit here. Just getting out on that gas a little bit earlier than everyone else, and then tucking in for the slipstream. Just there, as you can see, as soon as you get behind them, you get dragged in so quickly. Coming in now into the pits there to finish off the first stint. Yeah, up the inside there into the hairpin, nicely done. As you've noticed there, I've just passed that rider, and they are a back marker. However, everyone does have their own race, so if you look at some of these passes that we do put on these back markers, they're obviously having their own race as well, so there could be someone behind us or in front of us that are also battling for that position. So if you look here, we've got a rider going up the inside because that could be for a position, and I tried to go around the outside. I did make it work. So as you can see on the left there, they're all the riders trying to slipstream one another, production bikes, street stock bikes and Moto4 bikes, all going down. And again, a bit more chaos going on here. We've got a couple more back markers. There's Randy Racing, there's Nick. Shout out to Nick, go check his YouTube channel out. Now if we look here, we have got 3 bikes that we've got to try and now pass before the next corner. Now if you look here, there is a rider on the outside. He does just chop the nose off. Now like I said, obviously these guys are battling for their own positions and I'm trying to make my way through the pack. So here we are, a couple corners later, nice little slipstream, sorry. outside. We do run slightly wide there, and then we are now caught behind some back markers again, just trying to get our way through there. Now I did try and sneak a move up here, but unfortunately had the door closed. Didn't want to make any mistakes. We have got a few more back markers here, trying to make most of that mistake there from the orange vest rider. However, the guy on the Honda in front did manage to sneak through around the outside. Didn't get a good run. Now this is the guy that we've just overtaken. He's now overtaken me. This isn't for position, this is just a nice little scrap that we was having. A nice line out there, to be fair, but we've got the slipstream advantage, so coming into the next corner here, we've got through the S's, you're pretty much flat out, and then here we go, about to put a pass on him, late braking. He was quite late on the brakes, to be fair, so I had to make as much time up on the brakes as possible. Again, running a little bit wide, trying to squeeze between the grass and the back marker there. We're now coming in after the second stint. Here you see us refueling. Now unfortunately Daryl did run out of fuel on his last lap, so here is us putting the fuel in. Yep, there's me quickly on the job, put the cap in. James does the wipe, make sure there's no fuel anywhere. Bike off the paddock stand, and then quickly back on the case. So we weren't allowed to start the engines until we got to a certain point. So there we are on the bike. A determined face there from myself. Visor down, head in the game. Now, as you can see there's a few spots on the lens, or on the screen of the bike. You'll notice it does start to get heavier. We were on slick tyres, so it was a little bit of a mental game with the rain there, trying to make sure that we're trying to keep the pace up and the heat in the tyres while this rain comes down. So yeah, as you can see now, the rain is definitely coming down. Dark visor on as well, so that didn't help. Brakes here again, like I said, it is starting to rain, so the track is starting to get a little bit damp. Not enough for the slick tyres to lose grip, but there is definitely a mental aspect to it. Now we're coming through the hairpin here. Now, as you can see, look, the sun is out, but the rain is coming down still. So again, just trying to figure out whether we need to come in for tyres or not. But I think I stayed out. Now here, we come out the last corner and we are coming into the S's. Now, I do spot something. You can see my head sort of poking over the screen there, because I do see a rider in the tyre wall on his bike in a few pieces there. Now, he didn't look too good, so I put my hand up to sort of slow the riders down, because it didn't look too great, to be fair. So I slowed down, knowing that the safety car would come out because the rider wasn't moving. So yeah, that was it for pretty much 20 minutes of my stint. The safety car was out for, like I said, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and I'd already been out for a couple of laps. So again, just stuck behind the safety car here, warming the tyres up. There's the Moto4 bike behind us with Jai on it this time instead of John. Now again, like I said, just weaving side to side to keep the heat in the tyres. You've also probably noticed the rain has stopped as well. And then if you look here, the safety car pulls in, and the Daisy racing bike that's leading the pack wasn't quite ready for the safety car to come in, and I do capitalise on that, do make an advantage, and into the last corner I do make a move. You'll see just up in the inside there, you will see him poking back through, number 54. You'll notice the speed difference between the bike and myself. There we go, look, he did try to come through the S's, not quite. Now coming into the next corners, he does try and outdo me on the brakes, and I do try to level him and try and tough it up round the outside. A bit of contact there, but unfortunately didn't quite make it stick. And that was, as soon as the safety car came in, that was my last lap before I was pitted in. So unfortunately, that was my third stint, in. And yeah, passed on to James and Daryl. Now we're back out on for the fourth and final stint, and the last stint of the race. As you can see, there's a few spots on the camera still. But yeah, we managed to keep it upright, passing riders. There you go, look, through the S's. It was quite an eventful, again, second half of the last stint. getting the bike all moving. Now the suspension was set up for those guys, so it was a little bit stiff, the suspension. So for me, it was a lot of chatter going into the brakes and downshifting, but we managed to make it work. Around the outside there, into the S's. Now this is, I think, probably about 4.5 hours, 4 hours, 45 minutes into the into the race, so we only had about 15 minutes left. There's Daisy Racing, look at the speed difference on that. The Moto 4 bikes are ridiculously quick round here, especially with all the long straights. Here we go, look, getting a little bit bored. Sticking the fingers up, having a bit of fun on the last stint. But yeah, as you've probably noticed, if you look at my right hand, I am having to roll off the throttle and get back on the throttle, and that's because our power commander decided to not work in Spain, so we didn't have a quick shifter. So literally this was pretty much a production bike other than a few suspension upgrades, but other than that, pretty much a production bike. Now here we are coming on to the last couple of laps of the race. Unfortunately the GoPro did die about 10 minutes away from the finish, so unfortunately I didn't get me crossing the line, but there is a few external footages coming up. Here we are coming down to one of the last bits before the camera died. And then here's me just about to cross the line to finish the race, P1 in class, 4th overall.
It's the following day after the race. Didn't get much footage after the race because I was extremely tired. First race back after a long winter. Just want to say thank you to Money Motorsport for bringing me along again. Absolute fantastic job from the team. Where we weren't actually supposed to enter the race, we kind of just last minute booked on, got drawn out of the hat and P9, which probably helped us a lot, to be fair, because I know there was a lot of teams that had start quite far back and on the first couple laps struggled to get through. But yeah, other than that, it's been a mint weekend. Thank you to Daryl, Sam, James, mum and dad and everyone that came down to support me. So yeah, it's been emotional weekend. Back with Money Motorsport. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I shall see you in the next one.